Hello, I am Mr. Marble, your instructor, and this is a torchmate AutoCAD tutorial video. By the end of this module, you will be able to create a cut file from an existing image or create your own design using the torchmate AutoCAD software. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a cut file using an existing image. So the software we're going to be using today is torchmate. You can see it's got a TM and it's white. So the first thing you're going to do is want to go and click on that and let it pull it up. It's a little slow. I've already pulled it up right here. So after it opens up, you will see we've got a toolbar on the left, we've got some things on the top, and some more options on that top toolbar. So the first thing you want to do after you open that up is select the image that you are going to create your cut file. So today I've decided that I'm going to be creating a Case IH sign. When you are in Google Images, I'd recommend that you go to Tools and that you select larger images, because they're going to result in better quality files and less pixelation. So this file right here looks pretty good. That's kind of what I'm going for. So after I've found the image, what I want you to do is right click on the image and to go to Save Image As. Now I'm going to save this image to my desktop as Case IH logo number 3 and hit save. Now we can go back to the torchmate software and go to File, Import here, click on that, give it a minute to think. Now this automatically pulls up desktop. If you did not save it in your desktop, you're going to want to go to the file that you saved it in. So I'd also recommend to make sure that it says files, all types of files, because just sometimes you never know what it's going to save as. It might save as a JPEG or a PNG or something else. So here I have my Case IH logo number 3. I will left click on that, and I will then left click on import. And you'll see this angle that it pulls up. This is a tool that you can use to do size. If I just click right now, it'll pull up the image the size of its original size. But if I double click and drag, it'll pull it up to that size. Now it'll pull up something that says transparent threshold. The recommended setting is 127. Just hit OK. Now we have our image. Okay. Now the first thing that we need to do when we get this image is we need to scan it. Trace the image, because right now we can't really do anything with it. So once you've got the image selected, you're going to go over to the left side Tools, and under the pencil you'll see something that looks like a pen in an envelope, and it says Scan Tools. You'll left click on that, and then you'll go over the first one, which says AccuScan. Click on AccuScan. Now you can tell it to darken the image, and it should pull up things to just automatically do it. No, that's weird. It's the first time it's done this. So let's try that again. We'll go back, Scan Tools, AccuScan. And usually it's not bringing up tools I need. Okay, we're going to try that one more time. I think I actually just couldn't see what I was looking for. So we got an image selected. You'll go back over to the left side. You'll go to Scan Tools. Again, it looks like a blue diamond with a pen. You'll left click on that, and you'll click on that same image, which says AccuScan. Yeah, I just couldn't see it for whatever reason. For whatever reason, I thought it was going to be up here, but it's right here. So you'll see a diamond and some red dots. It'll say vectorization. You will left click on that, and that will trace our image. Now we have to close this out, and now it's traced our image. So what you'll want to do is then grab the image on top and move it, and you can see we have our traced image right there. With the original image, we can just go and delete that because we do not need that anymore. Now on this image, when it starts out, it's all selected as one image. But to be able to edit each individually, we're going to need to go through and do what we call breaking a path. Breaking and making paths are two things that you will need to do often. Before you finalize anything, you'll want to make sure everything has made a path. And you can still edit things individually if you made them a path, but you've got to make them their own individual path. So let me explain, or show you. So I've selected everything. I'm going to go over to the top where it says Arrange, and I'm going to break a path. Now, everything is its own individual image. But I can go and I can click on the C and hit Arrange, Make Path, and I can click on the A and the inside of the A by holding Shift A, or Shift and then selecting on the inside of the A, and then hit Arrange, Make Path. I can go through and do all of them. And then, so you can have your own individual image and still edit them individually with a path, but you've got to select them individually. So right now, I can just go through and select each individual piece. For this demonstration, I really don't want to mess around with the agricultural part, so we'll just get rid of that. Now, if you will look at this, there's something you always need to look at whenever you make something on torchmate, and that is what is going to fall out, or what will stay and what will fall out. And right now, if you're looking at this, you can tell, if you notice, if you look at the A, that inside, if we just left it as is, basically it would cut out an image like that, because the inside triangle would just fall out. So we need to go through and fix that. So the quickest and easiest way to do that, according to torchmate, is go over to Shape Tools on the left, click on a rectangle, zoom in closer. By the way, you can use your scroll feature on your mouse pad to zoom. You're going to go through and make a rectangle. Now, after I've done that, I can click away from the image. I want to make this a path by going to Arrange, Making a Path. And as you can see here, you have Control H and Control J. You can use those features and those command keys to do the same thing as making and breaking a path without going up here. For right now, you'll probably want to keep going up to Arrange, Make Path until you've got it down. But once you have done it a lot, you can just do Control H and Control J. But for this, I'm going to use the Arrange, Make Path. Okay, now I've made it a path. I also need to go through and make the inside triangle and the outside triangle all one path. So to do so, I'm going to select on the triangle, I'm going to hit Shift, and then I'm going to click on the outside of the triangle, or not the triangle, outside of the A, to where they're both selected. And now I'm going to go through Arrange, Make Path. I told you you'd be using it a lot. Okay, now I can click on any part of the A, and it's going to go to all of it. So basically what this rectangle is going to do is it's going to cut out that chunk and break it, and so that we have a break and we'll have metal there so that the inside of the triangle won't fall out. And I'm going to try to make this match this angle. So you can see there's like a curved arrow with points on both sides. We're going to grab it, hold, and I'm going to adjust that to match that angle pretty close. Now, once you've got to this point, you're going to select the rectangle, hold down the Shift button, and then you're going to click the rest of the A to where everything is highlighted. Oh shoot, I just moved it. Control Z. Now you will go over here to what looks like a Venn diagram. It's called Weld Tools. You will left click on the Weld Tools, and you go over to all the way to the right, which looks even more like a Venn diagram with XOR Weld. Click on that. Mr. Marble, it did nothing. What the heck? Actually, it did. You now click off, and you should be able to click off the top and the bottom of the rectangle and go through and delete it. And there we have it. Our A is now fixed. Now I'm not really liking this angle right here. I think it's a little steep. So I'm going to show you another feature. Once you have made something a path, you can double click on it, and that'll allow you to do node editing. Each of these blue dots is a node. So I can click and select on this node, and I can carry it and move it to where I think it should go. I think it looks good right there. Actually, I should, but it'll work for now. Okay, now I've got it so everything will look the same. I've got no pieces that I need that are going to fall out. Now I would like to make this like a small sign, and so a lot of the things you're going to make, you're going to want to just put a rectangle around it. So I'm going to go over to shapes. You'll see a circle, a triangle, and a square. We're going to go over to a rectangle. We're just going to click and drag and make that. Now, if we go to the upper right corner of that rectangle that we just made, before we click off it, we can click on a circle, hold and drag and pull it in. That'll round our corners. I'd recommend you round every corner. Now, the shape of this is kind of small, so I'm going to go up here to the top. There's a width and an object height button. I can go through and type, let's say 10.5, and it'll proportion it. And there, I've got that. Now from here, I want to make everything on the inside its own path and the rectangle its own path. So let's highlight everything on the inside, do arrange, make path, and click on the rectangle and make sure it's its own path. Now with them each selected, we're going to want to center these objects so they look nice. So we're going to click on the rectangle, hold down the shift button, and then we can click on anything on the inside. And then after they're selected, you're going to hit C and E, and that'll center it. Okay, now it's centered. It looks good. We've got rounded corners. I like the size of the sign. I think it'll work. It might actually be better. Some things you might need to adjust for clearances, but I think we should be okay on that. Just so you're aware, anything that is closer than 0.125 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch is going to be too close for the machine, and you'll have to adjust that. And you can ask me for help, and I'll show you how to do that when as needed. Okay, now we need to make a cutting path. So I'm going to select the inside of the image first because I want this to cut out, and then I want it to cut out the outside, because if it cut out the outside first, it wouldn't be able to cut out the inside. So I'm going to click on the case IH. I'm going to go to Machine, Create Toolpath, and I'm going to go Female because I want the cut to start out on the inside, so I'm going to hit Female. Let it think. You don't have to worry about this first page. I want you to then go Basic Cut, Plasma 45. Plasma 45 might not be available on yours, so you can just select Plasma, I think. Feed rate depends on the size of your metal, but for the metal we're using right now it's 110, but you'll want to ask me about that on a case-by-case basis. We'll go to Lead In, Lead Out. You're going to create a lead in. You're going to use the arc feature, and you're going to want to be a radius of 0.09. Okay, click OK, and it created a cut path. Now, I need to then create a cut path for the rectangle. So we'll select the rectangle, go Machine, Create Toolpath. Now on this one, I want it to start on the outside, so I'm going to go Male, Basic Cut. Should carry everything over from the last one. 145, 110, lead in and out. I want it to be 0.09. And then hit OK. So now we have our cut paths created. This is the extent of what you can do on your software. So what you are going to need to do at this point is to simply go File, Save As. I don't know why it won't let me save. File, oh, because I don't have it saved at all. So File, Save, Internal Error. That's not good. Not sure why this is doing it. Okay, if this software is gonna, okay, I don't know why that's doing it. So I'm running out of time and the software is being dumb. So at this point, I don't need Adobe. Well, it just clicked out of it, so that's awesome. But at this point, you would just save the software to a jump drive and bring it over to my computer, and we will do the exporting of the software on exporting of the file on my computer. It's brief. There's a lot of things to cover. Please ask me if you have any questions. Thank you. I should look them up.